Yahushua tells us that whatever we ask in his name will be given to us. It is also written in John 14:26 that the Spirit of Yahweh comes through his name. And that's something that a lot of people also don't like to hear, because they think that in the Christian church is the Spirit of the Almighty, but that's not the case. Unfortunately, there is the spirit of error, the spirit of stupor, and other spirits depending on the doctrines. The Spirit of Yahweh comes in the name of Yahushua, as it says in John 14:26. John 5:43 is where it says, I have come in my Father's name, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, him you will receive. When the false Messiah appears, the whole world will receive him because they have been prepared through images. A thin white man with long hair, blue eyes, white skin, who has nothing to do with the Messiah of the Scriptures. That one they will receive because they've seen him in Hollywood, they've seen him in the churches they go to, they've seen him everywhere, and he has his own name that is not the name of the Messiah. John 14 says, And whatever you ask the Father in my name, I will do, so that the Father may be honored in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. Yahushua will do it so that Yahweh may be honored when people realize the power that is in his name. And I don't want you to think that I'm just saying that having the name is like some kind of magic word. Rather, having the name is a huge responsibility, and that's why the Jews, without understanding the commandments and other things, decided to forbid people from pronouncing it in an attempt to prevent them from sinning, not realizing that they can't control people's will, their free will. It's up to those who want to use it for evil, who want to use it in vain. That's why it's one of the commandments. My job is to teach it, to reveal it, so that people who want to know Yahweh can do so in a better way, a higher way, through his true names and come to know him in an intimate way. But along with that, you also have to keep the commandments, act righteously, do his will, not just have the name and do whatever you want, which is what some people sometimes think I'm saying, and that's absolutely not the case. I'm simply giving you a key that will help you draw closer to Yahweh in a more intimate, more personal way, and to have a higher understanding of the Scriptures. That's why it's called the key of knowledge in the Scriptures. And John 16:26 says, In that day, in other words, in these end times, when this truth is being revealed, many people say, why doesn't anyone know about this? Or why only until now? Yes, there are people who know, but we are going to be very few. One shouldn't reject the truth just because not everyone knows about it. It's illogical. We've commonly seen that, unfortunately, the masses are often wrong. That's why the gate that leads to destruction is wide, and many go through it. But the path that leads to the Father is narrow. Very few enter alive through salvation. John 17:26 says, This is where Yahushua, through a prayer, reveals to us that we are in the end times, and just like today when people say, but why don't we know the name and why does no one teach it? And so on, the same thing happened when Yahushua was on earth 2,000 years ago, and that's why he had to teach it. Just as blessed be Yahweh, we are teaching it here right now. John 17:26 says, in a prayer that Yahushua is making to the Father, I have made your name known to them. That means that the Talmudim, the disciples, did not know it. The followers of the Messiah did not know it. And if they didn't know it, even though they were Hebrews, it's because the Pharisees forbade it. The Pharisees did not teach it. So, Yahushua himself says, I have made your name known to them. Therefore, we can't use as an excuse that people today don't know the name, because that's part of the doctrine that must be revealed by the two witnesses. Just as Yahushua and John the Baptist appeared 2,000 years ago, in the same way in this time the witness like Moses and the witness like Elijah will appear. I have made your name known to them, and I will continue to make it known. Yahushua made this prayer before dying. John 17. Before dying, Yahushua made this prayer. Here he just said that just as he taught it 2,000 years ago, he would appear at the end of times, during the second manifestation as the witness like Moses to teach the name. I have made your name known to them, and I will continue to make it known at the end of times, so that the love with which you have loved me may be in them, and I in them. So, by believing in the name of Yahushua, we have within us the love with which Yahweh loved Yahushua. Only with that love will we be able to love Yahweh with all our heart, all our strength, and all our mind. And therefore, only by believing in the name of the Son will we be able to fulfill the first commandment, through which we fulfill all the other commandments of the Scripture.